Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR, HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Hi, and welcome. This is Maureen St Germain, and you are listening to The Practical Mystic. Today we are going to be talking about the MerKaBa. The MerKaBa is a well-known, well-practiced, guided meditation. There are many versions of it. The one that I taught for years and years was one that I learned from my teacher at the time, and it became known as the 17-breath MerKaBa, or as I renamed it, the classical MerKaBa, because the original formula was too good to let go of. The story begins with me teaching this work for close to 20 years. I traveled all over the United States with this work, and I became very well known for the work that I did in this particular kind of meditation. My guided meditation that is found on the CD is called MerKaBa 2, and it will walk you through the actual meditation. So first of all, let's talk about why this meditation was so important and why it's so valuable even today. Initially, this work is based on sacred geometry, and it's based on the form of the body, and it's based on sacred relationships between the man and the woman, and relationships between your male and female side within you. In addition, you will find that the actual MerKaBa itself is a tool to help you become more heart-centered and more plugged in to your own divine self. Now, when I first learned this work, one of the things that we were told is that we did not have permission to activate the last three breaths, or the actual turning on of the spinning of the fields at the ratio that we used, until we had gotten permission from our higher self. So initially, I waited and waited and waited. Then I got a call from one of the guys in the class, and he said to me, did you get permission from your higher self to do the activation? And I said, yes, actually I did. And he said, did you do it? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And the question was very important to me, because why was I afraid? Why was I unwilling to take the next step to activate this amazing field of energy if I had gotten permission from my higher self? And the truth is, I wasn't 100% sure that I had a higher self connection. I wasn't 100% sure that the signal for yes that I'd gotten was accurate. I wasn't 100% sure that it was a real yes. I felt that it was. I felt in my heart that it was. But my mind doubted. And how many of you have been in the same place? So what I did next was I began to develop a technique to connect with your higher self that would be foolproof, that would be usable for people who were A-type personalities like me, usable and useful for people who have already had some sense of their intuition, and also for people who had no sense of their intuition. So that's the subject of another call, perhaps, but that coursework is called Higher Self Work, or Connecting with Your Higher Self. I have classes on it. I have CDs on it. I have a lot of good information out there for you on your higher self. In addition, I began to learn from the actual meditation that I was activating a field that was alive. And one of the very first things that came to me was in the meditation, the actual field showed itself to me as if it was dancing out on a big open space. And I remember calling the teacher who taught me this work and saying, Jeffrey, my MerKaBa, it's alive. And he said to me, Maureen, we told you that when you took the class. Don't you remember? And I said, no, it didn't sink in. Because for me, the numbers and the shapes were so important and so real in their solid form, it never occurred to me that they would be dancing or be alive. So one of the most important things is to understand that once you start to activate your MerKaBa field, it becomes alive. And when it becomes alive, it can work with you. It can interact with you. It can teach you things. And one of the things I did was I went to my MerKaBa and said, I want to know a foolproof way of connecting with my higher self so that people that study with me will not have to question whether it was really their higher self. So they can know for sure that it was their higher self that gave them permission to move forward with this activation. So that's what my MerKaBa taught me. My MerKaBa also taught me many, many other things. And this is one of the most amazing aspects. The actual 17-breath MerKaBa will allow you to access your fifth dimensional self in such a way that you can have information and understanding, comprehension, and create a field of unconditional love around you that allows for and creates an incredible sense of well-being, not only for yourself, but everyone you interact with. Now, how does that translate into real life? It means that when you need to sort something out and there's a difficulty, it goes smoothly. When you're trying to get somewhere and you need to find your way, you will have a sense of what you're supposed to do, even if you don't have a good sense of direction. One time when I was literally hiking in the mountains of France and needed to find a particular cave and had never been there before, never had anybody show me, not only did I find my way, but I never made a false turn. I never made a turn with many forks in the road that I could have taken this way or could have taken that way. I still, without any having to turn around steps, found my way. Now, how does this work for you? Well, when you have an activated MerKaBa, one of the most important things it will give you is the ability to know when you're being told the truth, when you're being told a falsehood. So that's another very powerful tool. Now, we do have a caller, so I'd like to take that call, and we'll come back to this subject in just a second. So I'd like to welcome Kathy to the show. Hi, Kathy. Are you there? Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I can barely hear you. I was calling about my spiritual journey.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a little stuck, and I was wondering if you could help me out.
Okay. So what's going on?
I, 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 I don't know. I'm trying to move forward, but I feel like nothing's happening.
Aha. And how do you know for sure nothing is happening?
Well, I don't know. I guess. I hear all these people say, well, you're psychic, this and that, but I don't feel it. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the problem.
Aha.
Maybe I'm listening to too many other people.
Okay, so in other words, readers and guides have all told you that you have a gift, but you haven't been able to access it and you don't know what to do about it.
Right.
Okay. So what you need is to follow a system. Now, there are many teachers out there, but you need to pick one and to study under one of those systems. I have a system. You could study under me. You could read my book, get the Higher Self course, and do it that way. You can study under a shaman. You could study under other teachers that you might have in your area. You need to meditate regularly. Do you meditate at all? Are you there?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how often do you meditate?
Well, the problem is I meditate. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get out of the house and the cat's here. I try to meditate on the bus, but I guess that's not a full meditation. So I'm going to try to do 10 or 15 minutes just being quiet and breathing.
Okay. So I recommend that you work with a guided meditation. There's lots of free meditations on my website. There's also very inexpensive ones to start with, maybe the Rainbow Angel Meditation. And let those guided meditations teach you how to calm down your body. Now, there's an issue for you because part of you is wired right now and uptight and wound up. And so you need to kind of step back from that and find your way to get connected with a different modality. So I'm going to suggest, use my guided meditation. There are other teachers out there who have guided meditations. Find one that you like. And then practice with that on a regular basis and stay with it. And do it every day at the same time. It won't matter what time, but every day at the same time. And before you start, set your intention. I am choosing to meditate. I'm asking for my own divine guidance to move in closer so that I can be of service to humanity. And make that your prayer every single time. So for me, what I feel for you is that it's not that you're not trying, it's that the focus isn't there yet. So use an outside tool, someone else's guided meditation, and that should take you where you need to go. Okay. So, very good. So let's get back to what we were talking about with the MerKaBa. And the MerKaBa is a amazing tool that will actually, when you start doing that on a daily basis. Now, I was suggesting to Kathy that she work with someone else's form rather than just trying to be quiet and still. Pick a form or pick a guided meditation that will help you listen to the words and focus your thought. Because sometimes people are so mental that their thoughts jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, so quickly you don't even know you're doing it. So it's very helpful to listen to a guided meditation. If you decide you want to learn this MerKaBa, you have a number of ways to do it. Now remember, I wanted to go back to the fact that it lets you know when people are telling the truth and when they're not. Now the benefit of that should be fairly obvious, but let's talk about that for a second. When you are using this MerKaBa meditation, you have an energetic field around you that is a crystalline field that activates you to your God consciousness. What that does is allows you to be more plugged into the reality than everyone else. It also allows you to be unhooked from mass consciousness programming that might be beaming at you and making you less active, less visible, less open. So this kind of puts you on an alert level with your connection with God, and at the same time unhooks you from what everyone else is being fed, like the belief systems that are being thrown at people. What that does is it makes it very easy for you to read something or to see something or to hear something from someone and think, That's not true. That's not what happened. And you know instinctively that it's not true, and then you can seek out what did happen or what did occur. So on your spiritual journey, this tool, the MerKaBa, is a remarkable tool that will help you achieve everything else you want to do. For example, you can program your MerKaBa to help you in any area of your life or all areas of your life. I recommend focusing on one area of your life at a time so that you can see the progress. Otherwise, the progress would be slower and slower because it's spread out among various categories. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your higher self and your intuition, because Kathy brought up a good point, that she says she's being told she's psychic, but she's not feeling anything and she's not getting anything and she feels stuck. So the first thing you want to do is recognize that there is a difference between your higher self and your lower self. And the lower self is the part of you that's plugged into the reality and helps keep you safe. It's connected to your ego. It's connected to your little girl or the little boy in you. It's connected to every element of you that you would use to keep you safe, including your history. So if you put your hand in hot water and got burned, you would remember that and not do it again. That would be part of your lower self energy. So your lower self is the being or the energy that wants to keep you safe. When you are in a new situation, the lower self looks at your history. The lower self looks at the history and then relies upon the historical data to help make a guided direction for the future. This leads you to make choices based on your history rather than your best bet. When you have an activated MerKaBa, you're more open to receive the new goodness that can come your way, because you're not looking at fear, you're not looking at difficult situations as a way to unhook from them, not to have those again, because you're not running that energy of the pattern of your history. Now, a way to make an example of that is think of your MerKaBa as the energy field that helps you access everything you desire, everything you need to know about, and then look at your lower self and see it as the part of you that also wants the same outcome, but relies on history and experience to know that answer. Now, if we look at the word logic and we think about it, you could say logic is a system of making decisions. But logic is a system of making decisions based on historical data. So again, we're stuck with history, and we all know that the history is no predictor of the future. So if that's true, then the way to get what you really want is to be willing to unhook from your history and unhook from your lower self. But that's not so easy. That's why when you have the MerKaBa field in place, you actually have the ability to see it better than you would otherwise. Kind of like the MerKaBa gives you glasses to help you see better. Now, the MerKaBa itself is a 5-minute meditation. It's 17 breaths. You breathe in and out. You have certain visualizations and certain mudras. And what that does is acclimates you to the best version of yourself, the best version of the reality that you could possibly achieve. Now, one of the most interesting things is every once in a while someone learns the MerKaBa, does it for 3 or 4 months, and then skips a day, another day, and then another day, and then pretty soon a week goes by. And then all of a sudden their life isn't working so well. And they're looking around and asking, what is going on? Why is everything going so crazy all of a sudden? And then they remember that they stopped doing the meditation. Now, at some point, the actual MerKaBa will go permanent and become permanent in you. The benefit of this is huge, because then you can stand as a beacon of light to others, and then you become the fountainhead of service to others. More recently, I was given the chance to explore the work that's now called the 5D MerKaBa. this was a body of knowledge that came through a teacher that does not want to be named. One of her students brought and asked me to take it to the world. So when we come back, I will be telling you a little more about the 5D MerKaBa. But before I close this segment on the regular MerKaBa, I can tell you that if you really would like to learn the MerKaBa, and it's my number one recommendation for you, you can get the DVD from our website, MerKaBa Classic, and teach it to yourself, get a group together, or something like that. Please stay tuned. You're listening to Maureen St. Germain with The Practical Mystic.
Essential oils have been used since ancient times, but there has never been a formulation as amazing and original as Maureen St. Germain's Aro Mandalas, a line of essential oils that combine 3 spiritual and healing traditions. No matter what negative emotional issue you may be dealing with, there is an Aro Mandalas essential oil that can help you grow and reach a positive emotional response. So clear out those unwanted emotions and feel empowered with Aro Mandalas essential oils. Visit MaureenStGermain.com and click on Essential Oil Blends. That's MaureenStGermain.com.
Shh! Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
So, you want to change your life? Well, I have a great, easy, and stress-free way on how to do that. Get a guided meditation with Maureen St. Germain. Powerful guided meditations on CDs. Or you can download an MP3 to your computer or tablet. There's so many to choose from, and once you get one, they are so reasonably priced and work so well. You'll probably want them all, and why not? Visit MaureenStGermain.com and click on Books and Media. Do it now. MaureenStGermain.com. Books and Media. And help change your life now.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Attention, Practical Mystic listeners. Here's a deal you won't want to refuse. If you've ever wanted a chance to get a free Akashic reading with Maureen St. Germain, then here's all you have to do to increase your chance for a totally free reading. Email Maureen. Tell her your problem, and if your story is used on the Practical Mystic Show, then you'll win a 30-minute Akashic reading with Maureen St. Germain. How easy is that? And the email address is easy to remember, too. radio@MaureenStGermain.com. Email her now and get a chance at that free reading. radio@MaureenStGermain.com.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Hi, we're back. This is Maureen St. Germain, and you are listening to The Practical Mystic with Maureen St. Germain. Now, we haven't given out our phone number, so let's do that now. If you have a question, I am live today with you. 1-800-555-5453. 1-800-555-5453. I'd highly recommend that if you have a call and you want to reach me in person, this is your chance. So let's do that. Today we are talking about the MerKaBa. The first segment we spent quite a bit of time talking about the original MerKaBa, the 17-breath MerKaBa. And I'd like to share with you some very powerful information that came through another teacher who, one of her students came to me and gave me this new information. So it's very powerful. I practiced this work for about 4 months before I even considered bringing it to the public. And I was so astounded with the experience that then I was on a mission to get that material out to you. So I highly recommend that you explore this as well. Now, the 5D MerKaBa is meant to follow the traditional 17-breath MerKaBa. 17-breath MerKaBa takes you 5 minutes to do. The 5D MerKaBa is a 30-minute exercise. So you could literally do the 17 breaths and then roll right into the 5D MerKaBa. The 5D MerKaBa has got the new energies for the new ascension work that we're doing now. This meditation opens you up, brings in your fifth dimensional self in a much broader way. So initially it's like, okay, I can get this radio station and I can get this clarity, but what if you could get all of the offerings that that station has, not just one at one particular time? So the 5D MerKaBa gives you access to your higher chakras. It connects you to the Earth Star chakra and then creates the rainbow bridge through your pranic tube all the way up to your 12th chakra. And it does it in such a way that it is active and with you. And you can tell when it starts to fade. And I have had so many people call me who are using it and saying, this is one of the most remarkable things I have ever experienced. I've had people tell me that it is one of the most remarkable meditations they have ever done. Now, before I tell you more about what people have said, I'd like to share with you how it came to me and where it came from. So a woman who was drawn to work with me and then ended up working with a different teacher of the MerKaBa, the original MerKaBa that I taught, and then she continued to work on this other piece that was coming in through her. And over time, she developed this and began teaching it. Then one of her students who had been practicing it for 5 or 7 years, I don't know for sure how long, her name is Janice Jassy, and she's a jazz singer and a crystal bowl healer and also uses toning as healing. And she brought this to me, asking me to consider working with it. And over time, we developed an awareness that this tool was so remarkable it had to go out to the public. Because I have you, my lovely audience, who listen to this work and understand this material and work with me on it, she knew that we could reach a bigger audience far faster than if she did it on her own. In addition, I helped her codify some of the actual steps of this meditation. So, what happened is she sent me an email, and I get plenty of emails. But on this particular day, I saw this email, it jumped out at me, I got a very clear message, answer it right now. Not only did I answer it, but I picked up the phone and called her. I immediately set her up to come and do a workshop in my home. Then I had her come and do another workshop in my New York home. And through those two events, we developed the full-scale process of activating the 5D MerKaBa. Now, the 5D MerKaBa has a double tube torus. So there's a tube torus that's around your physical body that's above your head and below your feet. And then there's a second tube torus that sits above that. Those two are connected and interacting. And that second torus, toroidal field, holds another etheric body of you. So it's your new ascended master self that is now showing up and readily available for you to activate and work with and create with in a whole new way. So we recorded not only the guided meditation, but then we recorded Janice's activation by voice. And what we have found is those two in combination have created such an incredible tool that it is, even for the neophyte who doesn't get anything, they find their life has changed. Now, I've already told you that I get some incredible comments. One of the comments that I have received was from a woman who learned the MerKaBa from me, and she said, I've always felt that the regular 17-breath MerKaBa was readily available to me and of purpose to me. But this one transformed me and assisted me in such a way that I know that it's taking me to the next level. And she said, I always felt that the regular 17-breath meditation was unfinished and left you hanging, and I now understand why. I feel all the colors are very much a part of what's going on. Another client said that she absolutely loves the new sound effects and helps her move into her higher frequency very quickly. Now, one of the examples I'd like to give you in real life is my husband, who is a modest meditator, meaning he doesn't really go meditate that much, but he does like to meditate, and he's very interested in spiritual subjects. And he began doing this meditation, and it was so remarkable, the changes in his life, that he began asking me to do it at a minimum of every other day, sometimes every day. And one of the things I have noticed as the observer in him is that his joy factor is way, way up. So, for example, when you complain, honey, you left your socks on the floor again. I'm making this up. He doesn't do that. But let's say that happens. Then his response would be more like, well, then they'll be ready for me tomorrow morning when I want to put them back on again. And, of course, hopefully he wouldn't wear his socks more than once. And so it becomes quite funny rather than punitive or angry or whatever. And at one point I remember saying to him, you've had too much MerKaBa. You're too funny. You're too sassy. And it was meant, my comment to him was meant to be funny. But just like you might say to someone, you've had too many drinks, you're getting a little silly. In this case, he was actually expressing who he is capable of being at the joy level. And this is a man who's a physicist, he's a scientist, he's a researcher. You know, he's not that person that's like that normally. So it's very exciting. Now, what I will also like to share with you is that the new 5D MerKaBa will give you tools that you have never had before, and that includes access to your higher chakras, as it will open up that rainbow bridge of ascension. So how do you do that? In the end, you work with the guided meditation. You use the visualization that's on our website, and there is a link for a private page for that. And you practice it every day. This is Maureen St Germain. Remember our phone number, 1-800-555-5453. Today's show is live. I'm the Practical Mystic. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Essential oils have been used since ancient times, but there has never been a formulation as amazing and original as Maureen St Germain's Aro Mandalas, a line of essential oils that combine 3 spiritual and healing traditions. No matter what negative emotional issue you may be dealing with, there is an Aro Mandalas essential oil that can help you grow and reach a positive emotional response. So clear out those unwanted emotions and feel empowered with Aro Mandalas essential oils. Visit MaureenStGermain.com and click on Essential Oil Blends. That's MaureenStGermain.com.
Shh! Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
So, you want to change your life? Well, I have a great, easy, and stress-free way on how to do that. Get a guided meditation with Maureen St Germain. Powerful guided meditations on CDs. Or you can download an MP3 to your computer or tablet. There's so many to choose from, and once you get one, they are so reasonably priced and work so well. You'll probably want them all, and why not? Visit MaureenSt.Germain.com and click on Books and Media. Do it now. MaureenSt.Germain.com. Books and Media. And help change your life now.
Radio Your Way. HealthyLife.net.
Attention, Practical Mystic listeners. Here's a deal you won't want to refuse. If you've ever wanted a chance to get a free Akashic reading with Maureen St. Germain, then here's all you have to do to increase your chance for a totally free reading. Email Maureen. Tell her your problem, and if your story is used on the Practical Mystic Show, then you'll win a 30-minute Akashic reading with Maureen St. Germain. How easy is that? And the email address is easy to remember, too. radio@MaureenStGermain.com. Email her now and get a chance at that free reading. radio@MaureenStGermain.com.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Hi, and welcome back. This is Maureen St. Germain, and you are listening to the Practical Mystic, talk radio to make every day a day of heaven on earth. Using our tools that we provide, you'll learn practical living to make your life meaningful, full of joy and fun. The call-in number, if you have phone calls that you'd like to make and speak with me live, is 1-800-555-5453. If you want to go back and listen to something, you can always watch us or listen to us on HealthyLife.net and catch the show that way. As a mom, author, and mystic, I teach advanced spiritual techniques in ascension work, and I hope that you will always come away empowered and transformed. It is my deep desire to help you with tools for transformation. We have lots of meditations, essential oil blends, tools, and kits for you to use to achieve your heart's desire. There's a kit to bring in your beloved. There's a kit to connect with your higher self. There's lots and lots of guided meditations, even one to help you sell your home faster. So I hope you will join me every month at this time. Now today we are talking about the MerKaBa, and I promised that I would give you more information about this new multi-dimensional 5D MerKaBa. This is meant to be done after you do the 5D, the 17 breath meditation, or after your MerKaBa has been activated. As this meditation became known to me and practiced by me, we discovered that all kinds of things were happening. For example, people were finding that their meditations were much more colorful, much more evolved, much more detailed in everything. And they would come away from their meditation so happy, so full of joy, so ecstatic that they would have to call or write or thank me. Now, as you look at this possibility of learning this technique, understand that it will change you. You could use this meditation without learning the traditional 17 breath MerKaBa. You could do it if you didn't have your practice for the 17 breath MerKaBa. But what I will tell you is that it will blow the lid off for you. One of the people who used it, and she was one of our early testers in one of our courses, she said that each time she did the meditation, she was able to connect more and more with her own divinity, and that the resistance that she had been feeling about expressing her divine self had dropped. And the other piece that happens, and this happens to me all the time, and that is the synchronicity. She says it's her operating system. And what does that mean? It means that when an opportunity comes together, everything works. And I'll give you an example. I wanted to go from my West Coast home to Wisconsin for a concert with one of my sons. And it was at Christmas time, and it was done in a beautiful setting. And I thought it would be so special, and I had happy memories of having done that before. And my husband said to me, well, if you go, you better just make sure you can get back in time for Christmas, because it meant that I would be flying back to the West Coast the day before Christmas. Well, Wisconsin was having a big snowstorm that day. And, oh, by the way, in order to get there, I had to fly standby. And the ticket I had was to go through Denver. And the agent said, there's no way that's going to work. You need to fly to Chicago and then rent a car and go. So that's what I did. And then once I was in the air, she canceled the second leg of my trip. I rented a car and drove. No problem getting in. But everyone said to me, there's no way you're going to get back, because the snowstorm is going to hit and it's going to shut down the Milwaukee airport, and that's that. So I was wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, oh, I feel so good. Let me do my qigong, my yoga-type exercise. So I'm doing that, and all of a sudden I get this message, you better call the airport and see what's going on. And they were going to close the airport like at 6 a.m., but there was one flight at 5:40 a.m. that was still scheduled to leave before the snow got really bad. So the agent said to me, there's one seat on that plane, but I don't see how you're going to get there, because it's going to leave in an hour. And I said, well, I don't have any luggage, and I'm staying at an airport hotel. I think I can be right there. So I literally got in the car, went to the airport, dropped the car, and made it to the plane. And we were on the last plane that got out of town that day. Those kinds of synchronicities where things line up for you like a series of combination locks is part of what happens when you connect with your 5D self and you do this 5D MerKaBa. Now, what happens in all cases is no matter where you're at in your own experience, in your own life, you create a synergy that helps lift you from wherever you're at to a much higher level to get where you need to go. Just today, I was deliberately waiting in a waiting room, not looking at the clock on purpose, as I did not want time to constrain me. But when we walked out, and I told my husband, well, I need to be on the radio at a certain time, he said, it takes longer than that to get home. But we drove, and here we are. Now, what does it mean for you? You can get smoothness in your life. You can get a kind of self-love that allows you to be heart-centered, patient, kind, loving, fun, and funny. So one of the things I will share with you when I come back is the new F word for this new age. And I'd like to invite you again to go to my website, MaureenSt.Germain.com. Catch our freebies. We have a new one that's going to come on board next week. Pick up a CD or two for yourself. Read our blogs. This is Maureen St. Germain, and you are listening to Practical Mystic. We will be right back.
So, you want to change your life? Well, I have a great, easy, and stress-free way on how to do that. Get a guided meditation with Maureen St. Germain. Powerful guided meditations on CDs. Or you can download an MP3 to your computer or tablet. There's so many to choose from, and once you get one, they are so reasonably priced and work so well. You'll probably want them all, and why not? Visit MaureenSt.Germain.com and click on Books and Media. Do it now. MaureenSt.Germain.com. Books and Media. And help change your life now.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
The loving, healing energy of the Akashic Records is a profound tool for self-exploration and empowerment, and these records include every thought, word, and deed of your life throughout time. With so much information, you will probably need a guide to help you access and interpret it. That's where Maureen St Germain's trained and certified Akashic Record guides can help. Discover what you really need to know with an Akashic Record guide reading. For more information, visit AkashicRecordsGuides.org. or visit MaureenStGermain.com and click Akashic Readings. Essential oils have been used since ancient times, but there has never been a formulation as amazing and original as Maureen St Germain's Aro Mandalas, a line of essential oils that combine 3 spiritual and healing traditions. No matter what negative emotional issue you may be dealing with, there is an Aro Mandalas essential oil that can help you grow and reach a positive emotional response. So clear out those unwanted emotions and feel empowered with Aro Mandala's essential oils. Visit MaureenStGermain.com and click on Essential Oil Blends. That's MaureenStGermain.com.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Hi, and welcome back. This is Maureen St. Germain, and thanks to Healthy Life Network, I'm with you each month at this time, on Mondays. As an international transformational teacher, author, and intuitive, I love working with individuals and groups to provide insightful information from their guides through my connection into the Akashic Records. I wrote the manifestation book, Be a Genie, and I've taught worldwide since 1994. Our customers tell us that their Genie Workshop experiences give them the tools to understand and apply manifestation of the secret. We do have a telecourse opening up this week on Genie, the Genie material, and Be a Genie, and I highly recommend you consider taking it. It will help you manifest something wonderful in your life and also teach you the tools to apply it over and over and over. As I talked about already on this call, I've taught the MerKaBa meditation for close to 20 years, and I've released this new guided meditation on the 5D MerKaBa. So you will find these tools on our website. One of the things that we promised on this show for you this month was how to keep your heart open without damaging it. And the number one tool is to wear a MerKaBa meditation. And it sounds kind of funny, but the MerKaBa is an actual garment that you activate. The field kind of exists there, but it's like flipping a switch, and you activate it and turn it on. The activation only lasts for 24 hours. So why is that? Why would it only last for 24 hours? And the answer is we are in a free will zone. Each day you choose to make a God choice or a not God choice. Each day you choose what you want to accomplish. Each day you set the tone for the day with your prayer work, with your intention, with however you do things. So as you begin your day, what do you do to set your intention and to set the tone? Maybe if you have a regular morning routine, you might include in that a little Post-it note on your bathroom that says, remember to thank God for all the wonderful things that are happening today that you're going to discover. Make your intention every single day because we have free will. And this is why the MerKaBa is so powerful, because it tunes you to a frequency that allows you to have access. You know, it's like having privilege. You know, the people who have privilege or opportunities that no one else has, let's say the children, the offspring of well-known actors or actresses, those kids have privilege. They have good educations and private schools, and then they also get opportunities. They still have to prove themselves, but they get opportunities to present themselves or to present their work in environments that otherwise wouldn't be available to them. They often have resources financially that aren't available to everyone else. So this is what the MerKaBa does. It gives you an insider's edge and helps you keep your heart open. And then when there's incoming insults, incoming remarks, incoming negative energy, whatever it is, you notice it there, but it doesn't affect you. For example, yesterday my husband and another friend and I were at the Air and Space Museum in Seattle. It's this beautiful museum that was established by the Boeing Corporation. And we came away both very heavy and tired and worn out. And I had a very strong sense that I needed to do clearing work. You can pick up the souls. In that case, there was a lot of energy around war and those kinds of issues. And so I did clearing work on myself before going to bed. The next morning, my husband came to me and said, I'm just so exhausted. And so I did clearing work on him, and he perked right up. We pick up entities or energies because we can be helpful. And just like you might pick up trash in a beautiful place, if you saw it was there and you could see where the garbage was, you'd just take care of it. So what is a blow to the heart? I promised I would talk about that. A blow to the heart is when someone you love who is close to you does something that you know they know better. The first few times that this happened with my clients, and they would say to me, what is going on? What is that? My guides would use the same term. Well, it's a blow to the heart. Blow to the heart. And what it means is that someone who can get close to you and get inside your armor hits you with a big stick, and that armor cracks and shatters. And it's up to you to let it down and keep your heart open, or to try and patch it up and make a thicker wall. So what do? With the MerKaBa, you can keep your heart open. With pure intention, you can keep your heart open. It's pretty hard when someone hurts you really bad to be able to trust that kind of a situation again. Now, if the same person causes you difficulty more than once, that person gets voted or moved to acquaintance. They're no longer your friend. But assuming that it's a different person each time, these are opportunities for you to become more open-hearted in spite of what's going around and what's going on around on you. Now, one of the most interesting things that ever happened to me was with a situation with my stepfather. And my stepfather is a lovely man, but he has a way of speaking that can be very insulting. And one day I did something that he was trying to get me to do, but it took a while for me to figure out what he wanted. And when I finally did, he said, "Oh, you're just like your mother." And I turned to him and I said, "Thank you. That's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me." And he said, "I didn't," and stopped mid-sentence. Because he realized it didn't make any difference that he didn't mean it that way. Because I get to choose to receive it that way. Then my mother leans over and says, "Honey, I don't think that's what he meant." And I smiled sweetly at my mother and I said, "Yes, but I get to choose how to receive it." So one of the things that you can do, whether or not you have a MerKaBa, certainly wearing the MerKaBa makes it much, much easier to deal with these difficult situations. But your heart can be so ready and open and available to love that when incoming comes in, you notice it, but it doesn't hurt you. So one of my favorite storylines has to do with a little joke that I made up early on to help people start to understand this principle. And the joke is, do you know that you can never insult a blonde? You want to know why? She only hears compliments. And it's kind of funny because you could imagine that a woman or a man could hear an insult and decide that it was only a compliment. And what fun that would be, because at that point, no one can hurt you. So if somebody says something mean to you, you just look at them and say, thank you. That's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me. And then you walk away laughing because now they're confused. At the very minimum, they're confused. At the very worst, they're mad that they didn't get to hurt you like they intended. So it all works. Now, one more thing that I'd like to talk to you about, and that is sacred geometry in general. Any form of sacred geometry is useful. Pick up or look at the art of Lorinda Eileen. Look at her symbolis. Look at the art of Andre Balog. I have featured him in some of my blogs. That sacred geometry will help you anchor into your field a sense of symmetry and order, giving you qualities that you may not have had. These sacred geometries are templates and blueprints that are being channeled through these artists for the purpose of uplifting mankind and womankind. So even something simple as a sacred geometry deck, a calendar, a gift card for yourself with these beautiful pictures on it will pay off. It has been my deep pleasure to play with you today and talk about the MerKaBa. Remember, you can get an Akashic Records reading from me and also our many guides that also work under me. You also can get... I'm so sorry. It won't go away. You also can get access to a free download every month. We change that out pretty regularly. This is Maureen St Germain. You can reach me and my materials at MaureenStGermain.com. You are listening to The Practical Mystic. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.